Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is The Chat. We're here with the lovely Fredericks. Can you please introduce yourself, folks?
Yes, hi, it's lovely to be here. My name is Shonnia Fredericks.
I'm Rawle Fredericks.
Oh, beautiful. So right now, you beautiful people are doing your thing here in the Bronx. You're here supporting the community, mainly the art community. Tell them a little bit about yourselves, please. Thank you.
Well, to get things started, I'm a photographer. My husband is a graffiti artist as well as a typographer. And we are originally from Brooklyn. And we are now calling the Bronx our home. And when we started out as a magazine where we would just interview the local artists who normally wouldn't get the platform as some of the so-called higher artists would get. So we wanted to make sure that we were the ones who created that platform. So it was going okay, but then I felt as though it wasn't enough. So we decided to create an online gallery to where not only will we showcase the local artists, that they can actually sell their art through our gallery. No hanging fees and all that other stuff. It is strictly for the artists in our local community.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful. So, you say you started off in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Can you give us a little bit of background, like your humble beginnings, how you got here?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, we got here by way of that terrible word, gentrification.
Happens to all.
Yeah, so...
Brooklyn was one of the first places to go, it seemed.
Yeah, we were hit hard. Our last spot was in Fort Greene.
Nice.
And no matter what we did, to make sure that our rent was paid, the cost of living far exceeded our incomes. So push came to shove, we had no other choice but to leave everything. Now, the dirty side of that is that we actually ended up homeless.
Wow.
For a very long time, and through the system, oh God, I pray no one ever goes there. No one goes into the system.
Okay.
But the beautiful thing that came out of that garbage was that we ended up in the Bronx, and the Bronx had that nostalgic, very community feel that we so missed in Brooklyn.
Nice.
So it took a little while to get used to because it's still a new place.
Yeah.
But then I realized wherever you're planted, you gotta grow.
Nice.
But the soil wasn't what we needed it to be to grow. So you got to do your part. If the soil is not what you need to grow, then what are you going to contribute to that soil so that you can grow?
That's true.
So
that's true.
We decided to, get involved with some of the organizations and who are fighting for, affordable housing and that kind of thing. And honestly, it was okay in the beginning, but then I realized that's not my thing. That yelling in the street and all that other stuff, that's not my thing.
Yes.
And I realized, well, what can I do as an artist? What is my thing? And my thing is do it through art. You have to be able to speak a language that people understand. Yes, we already know that things are wrong in the Bronx, but is that all is going on in the Bronx? What's right? Is there a hope to what's going on in the Bronx? And what people understand is art, poetry, music. You have to have hope intertwined with your struggle. And I believe we as artists, you have to offer that. You have to be able to say through your medium what is wrong, but you have to add what's right. And I wanted to do that. And the only way to do that is to get the voice of the artists. They know how to tickle the community's ear better than anyone else.
That's very true. Back in the days, the first person to get grabbed up were the artists. Even when it came to like propaganda and freedom of expression, they were always at ends. It was always the propaganda artists versus the freedom artists, because propaganda is very powerful back in the days, even in war times. Yeah. So you do have a good goal there. I heard that you were also a personal trainer.
Ooh,
Yeah, right?
14 years.
Nice.
Well, 14 years, and I hated every minute of it, but I learned some very valuable lessons. Through their personal training, they made it okay for me to not be embarrassed by the standard of life that I was seeking to achieve. They didn't make it. They didn't make me feel uncomfortable with wanting better. They didn't make me feel uncomfortable with wanting more, as opposed to being in the hood where people were comfortable with status quo. I wasn't comfortable with status quo. I don't want that. I've never been comfortable with status quo. I felt I had a standard, and I felt that I had to pretend and be embarrassed by the things that I enjoy. And it doesn't matter if someone liked it or not.
Oh, that's amazing. Like, I'm glad that, you know, you've taken that away from being a trainer for such a long time. Mm-hmm. So you were spraying up in the streets. Like, how was that for you?
No.
No? Okay.
What it is let's say it like this.
Yes.
I was a little nerd.
Okay.
Went into high school at 12. Okay, I got into Brooklyn Tech at 12. And that's 2 years ahead of everybody else. But I graduated from high school at 18, which means I spent 6 years in high school. A couple of those years were in the Bronx, in Esplanade, and other layups, you know, just doing things like that. So that's where I got into graffiti. But after a while I just gave it up, because there was no. I was going to go to art school. Father tells me, where are you going to make money with art? You know, you're not going to make money going to college for art. Go to college for something. So I was a teacher. I was a daycare teacher for 20 years.
Nice.
You know,
the
little wonderful kids.
Was it fulfilling for you?
It was fulfilling because in the inner city, it's a strange thing to say, children need to see strong black men.
That is
you need to see a black man that you're going to see every day, that's going to be there for you and going to help you out. You know, this society, that's one of the things they want to take away from us. They will do anything to destroy the black male, scary as it is. You know, they will give to women's liberation, they give to gay liberation, they'll give to anyone else but black men.
We've seen that outcome so far,
and that's where we are, and it's still that way. You know,
yes,
but
very true.
As an artist, I decide what's important to me. So that's why I'm turning. After this wonderful COVIDness, I've turned all my focus on my art. That's it. You know, that's something I have to do, and that's something I have to leave a legacy for my children.
Okay. So your company is now called InnerWorks Gallery, right? It was originally a magazine, but it's now a gallery. Okay. So how is this going to contribute to the Bronx? See what I'm saying now?
You see how this is going to contribute to the Bronx? Because all the artists are from the Bronx. The majority of the artists in our gallery are from the Bronx. I found every artist whose work should be seen right here in the Bronx. Nice. There are names you've never heard of, but maybe you've seen their work and you wondered who did that. They were from the Bronx. And they deserve a platform where the work can be not only seen and you can get a little buy-up on who the artist is, but it can be sold. The foundation of one of my goals is to get rid of that myth, and I believe it's a myth, of the starving artist. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. It's not a thing if you are willing to give the artist what they deserve.
I mean, I'll say this. You're totally right. I think some people forget that artists are like not copy machines or anything like that, but also like I think we need to find some type of collaboration. Like I see how you two move together. Like he's a very good artist. You seem to be his voice at times. And the thing is like I think artists do need a voice. We do get lost sometimes when we're in our own zone and we forget about everything else, eating, sleeping, interaction, and it seems like that's what you're looking to do for these young artists that are coming up here, and even
absolutely.
older artists that
Absolutely.
still haven't found somebody to
Yeah.
represent them as
Yeah,
well.
because it's in the world of arts, I don't believe there's a such thing as time.
Mm-hmm.
There really is no such thing as time. But what I do realize is that with COVID,
Mm-hmm.
the arts is what people were looking for. People who wanted to be inspired again, and it was through the arts where they were looking for that inspiration. And I realized, I was like, wow, this is where the arts are going to have their rebirth, because everything has started all over again. And people are looking for the things that inspired them, the things that made them their spirits jump, things that put a smile on their face and they didn't even know it was smiling. It was always through the arts. They heard through poetry the words that they couldn't say themselves. Music that brought soothing and released muscles. That's all going to be through the arts. So right now, there's a rebirth. Graffiti, no matter the medium, it's all going to be the arts, and the artist is at the forefront of this rebirth. So I'm excited.
Awesome.
I'm
It's like
excited.
the Bronx Renaissance, just like Harlem Renaissance.
Nice.
It's the Bronx Renaissance.
I think that's coming.
We especially
here.
with places like where we are right now.
Yeah.
Where you can see artists, you can see poets, you can see singers, you can see artists, graffiti artists, and it's a beautiful thing because people are in the Bronx, really?
Yes.
People are saying that to us.
Yeah.
You're in the Bronx, really? But then you turn around and look at what's happening in a place like Mott Haven.
Mm-hmm.
Mott Haven is going crazy.
Yeah.
Mott Haven is they're trying to gentrify the Bronx. They're trying to move up into the Bronx from Mott Haven. Once upon a time, no one would want to be caught dead in Mott Haven. But now,
I mean, it's a slow burn. I mean, everything, you just want to be a part of it before they consume you, and that's the thing. But I got a question for you guys. What developments right now in the Bronx, like art scene wise, music wise, just that you're excited for, like that it happened this year? Like, I know there's a lot of events going on. I see people like I know Fordham is having their market nights now. Places like who else in the South Bronx? There's other events. I know there's a young guy. He has he has an Instagram called Studio where he films up and coming Bronx performers. So he does them like nice live music videos and puts it out there for them and showcases them. Met him on the train the other day, and he's having a nice event down in I forgot the location, but he's having an open mic there too, and he's going to do the same thing there and showcase artists that he's been following. So there's a lot of now young Black and I'll say Hispanic creators that are doing events like this. So is there anything that you would like to share to folks that
Well, we have an upcoming show that we're really excited about. Unfortunately, we couldn't find a space in the Bronx, which I'm not happy about, but we will. The next show will be in the Bronx,
Nice.
but it's going to feature the legends of graffiti art.
Nice.
And we're so excited. It's called The Seven Elements. It's going to be in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. But
That's your old home. You can't be like
I never lived in Williamsburg. Anyway,
okay, all right.
Williamsburg.
So, but it's going to be a nice little catalyst, a nice little springboard for our next show. So
Okay.
that's coming up August 17th. You can go on my Instagram. You can go on InnerWorks Instagram, and you can see the flyer. Get your tickets. It's going to be a wonderful show. I'm not even going to tell you the names of the OGs that we have on the list. You're going to find out for yourself, and then your jaw is going to drop. And I want to add that along with all the events that are popping up, and I think it's a beautiful thing, what the Bronx is going to offer is not just a platform for the artists that are out there. The OGs who are paved the way for the new Johns coming up, they will be able to teach them how to spot, how should I say this, for every new generation, right? There's a predator, there's a pimp, and there's a parasite. And for every new generation, there's a new pimp, there's a new predator, and there's a new parasite. And what the OGs can teach us is how to spot them so that that label of being a starving artist is not on. What the OGs will teach us and what this new rebirthing of the Bronx will teach us is like, don't come cheap.
Okay.
If you don't know your value, neither will anyone else.
Can I want to question that for a minute, because we're in an age where a lot of people are not, I would say, not strong-willed. Like the OGs are from those hard times. Some of them grew up during the Bronx is burning. Some kids grew up in the 90s. You know, those are very difficult times in Bronx. The kids today are a little touchy, I would say.
Cancel culture.
No culture, but right now, what is it that the OGs would have to show these young kids to become what they need to be to become good artists? Because a lot of these guys had to fight, and you know, they had to step away from their art, you know, give away, sacrifice, and nowadays these kids aren't willing to do that. They think everything is owed to them. So what would the OGs have to offer these younger kids? And that's the thing I would like to ask.
Well, the OGs have everything to offer, but what they do have is they can teach the up and comers how to say no. It's just that plain and simple. And no is a complete sentence. And no, once you say it, it doesn't require any further explanation. And then what we can offer as OGs, because we're artists as well, is like, that should be your line in the sand. When you say, no, I cannot do this for free, because yeah, you say you're going to give me publicity and all this other stuff and give me a shout out, but the shout out don't pay your bills. So when you say no, and then they cross that line and ask you why, that's where their respect for who you are and what you do and why you do it falls away. If they can't respect your no, then they're not worthy of your art. It's just that plain and simple. And you have to be able to say, this is what I'm worth, this is the price of my work, and then shut up. And then see what they say. If they have all these excuses, well, I don't, then it's time to walk away. There are billions of people on this planet, and there's at least 1,000 who will purchase absolutely everything you make. And that's your livelihood. Learn to say no, and then take it from there.
And then someone had told us that they have to get your number one fan.
1,000 true fans?
1,000 true fans.
Right. That's a great...
1,000 true
Right.
fans. And that's one of the things that you have to understand as an artist. One person loving your art is enough.
I think a lot of younger people want the glory of it all, and they don't understand that the glory isn't it.
Because the way culture is now,
Well-
they believe that everything is we're in an instant gratification culture.
Well, we live in an age where people only like, listen, I swear to God, this is a new thing, but maybe, you know, like people don't mess with you if you don't have a certain amount of followers on Instagram. Recently, I believe there was a section in Williamsburg that were looking for artists, right? And they say your followers have to be over, I believe, 250,000, just to but again, that's the age that we live in now. Like, you only get offered deals if you have a certain amount of followers. You know,
It's not true for everyone.
No. I'm not saying this is true for everyone. I'm just saying this is where we're at now. Like, you having a blue check mark is very important for you to move forward now, which is weird.
That's why things like this that we're doing right now is important.
That's why the
Because
events are important.
We have to make our own. We have to make the buzz. We have to take care of ourselves on that level. And that we artists, we need to step up and say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. Give me $2. That's not gonna hurt you. And I'm not talking about just $2, but give me something.
Okay.
You know, don't tell me, oh, I'm going to let you do this for. This is the same thing that's been going on for years. For the advertising. I'm going to get you for the exposure.
So, quick question. Just to add on to that, do you think this is something that artists should be very wary of, or you think there's something more dire that they're not seeing right now besides this?
Yeah, I think some people are just not artists. I'm just going to put it out there. If you're worried about glory and how much money you're going to make, not that money's not important yet because you need it so you can eat and whatnot, but if art is truly your livelihood, then you're not so much worried about the glamour and the glory. You just want to get the art out there. And you have to be on a certain, can I say, a vibration, because what you put out there is what you're going to get back.
Right.
If you're like this vacuum and you just want people to come and love you and worship you and put you on this pedestal, and you bring nothing to the table other than something you scribbled out, something you chanted out on some stupid microphone, then you're going to get what you put out. And then as far as I'm concerned, and it might be offensive to some, then you're not a real artist. A real artist understands sacrifice. They know what it will take. Sometimes they know you got to get a little bit of a 9 to 5 until you get your feet right. And you also have to be mindful of the circles that you are keeping. If someone is always talking about, you got to get that bag, you got to get your money up, and you worried about a check mark on your Instagram, you got to start somewhere. No one flies into flying.
True.
It's just that plain and simple. If you're not willing to pay the cost, then you're not a real artist.
No, I agree.
sorry.
I agree with that. I can see your sentiment. I've met people where they're just talking to me and they're like, "Hey, you gonna follow me because I'm gonna be famous?" And I was like, simply after that, I was like, "For what?" And it was dead silence for 5 minutes. Like they didn't know what they were gonna be famous for. They just wanted me to know they're gonna be famous, and that's where we're at right now. And you're totally right. I don't think that they're not artists. I think what happens is that they lose that passion. And I think because I've seen it happen before. I've seen many young people, fall into the, I don't want to say path, but, fall in love with what society is offering, and they give up what they naturally have. They sacrifice that beautiful skill or power. Like I've seen it. I've told people this before. I was like, you lost it. And they're like, I still got, no, you lost it. But right.
Well,
so
you know what?
I think that's it.
I'm a little hard on this kind of stuff.
No problem.
If you're not willing to live on the outskirts of society so that you can live the life you were meant to live as an artist, then you don't deserve the label as an artist. It's just that plain and simple. I dropped it, I let it go. And then you have to stop listening to other people. Is this important to you or is it not? Are you doing this for the love of other people, or are you doing this because this is what you love? And these are decisions that you have to make. It's just that plain and simple. Make the decision, or the decision will be made for you.
Yes.
It's just that plain and simple. Young, old, make the decision, or the decision will be made for you. You either going to live your dreams, or you're going to work for someone, and while they live their dreams, you're going to work for someone, and you're going to help them live their dreams. And there's no gray area. It's hard, but there's no gray area. You have to pick one. Stop listening to people who tell you, go get a real job. How dare you? This art is my job. This art is my life.
I think what it is like, I say this especially in the Black community, we're very disheartening about where we want our future to go, especially as creatives, because a lot of people will tell you, go and get a 9 to 5. I was told that as well. Why you don't get this, why you don't get that, instead of just supporting what I'm doing. And the thing is that it's really hard. And then, like even you were saying about your dad, it's really hard for them to see a future with that, because that's all they know. I've had associates, parents like, oh, you want a job at the MTA? And they're like, no, mom and dad, I'm a graphic designer. I make a lot of money just creating a logo. But they'll never understand that. You can't tell a guy, like think about the first guy that was like, you know what, I'm gonna build a machine that's gonna plow the whole field. Man, you crazy. They're gonna need us all the time to plow the fields, and we'll never lose our job. And then here comes the tractor, and that's the end of it,
Yeah.
So it's just, I think some people live like that. It's just, they'll never see that future. Like, I remember I was talking to someone, I was like, yo, I can see your stuff in galleries. That's so painful for them sometimes, you know? Like, it really hurts them because they can't see it for themselves. Somebody could see it for them. Look, you two seem like you can see that for people. That's why you open up your gallery. That's why you're offering your service. But think about that person that you're literally telling this to, and they can't see it. They can't see it, or they can't even feel it.
Well, then you know what you have to do with that, and you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
And those people, you have to choose either fear or faith. You're going to believe in yourself, or you're going to live in fear and then be miserable the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
But all you need to do,
Mm-hmm.
you know, with someone like that, just plant the seed. You say, you know what, I can see that in the gallery.
Right.
And
Right.
you may never say it to them again.
Yeah.
Just plant the seed, and then they decide if they're going to feed it or not. Because they'll remember it again. They'll be like, yeah, yo, so-and-so, Shawn said, you know, he could see my stuff in the gallery. And, you know, they'll start to think about it. You plant the seed, somebody else will water it, and then God will give you the increase. That's how that works. That's exactly how that works. Just plant the seed.
You're totally right about that.
Just plant the seed.
Let's switch it up a bit. So what was your guys' aha moment? You know, everybody has that aha like, this is what we need to do. Like, let's go, like, you guys, you know, you said something and it was weird, and you're like, that's a good idea. Like, and I know, like, you guys bounce ideas off each other as a couple. Like, he'll say something out of the blue, and you're like, what was that you said? And then, you know, you guys sit down and bounce back and forth with that, you know.
COVID.
COVID was your aha moment?
COVID was the solidifier.
Okay.
What happened is I was working 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I get a little bit of time, sit down and do whatever. Sit at my desk, do whatever. COVID, job disappeared. So you have the chance. You have the
Time
opportunity.
to sit
You
there
have
and think
the
about your
time
dreams.
to
Absolutely.
get your dreams. To go back to your dreams so your dreams can
Flourish.
You'd
Nice.
be surprised when it comes back to you in a moment of stillness. And I know COVID was scary for a lot of people, but that was a mandated stillness for so many of us, especially for the creators.
Okay.
Because you can easily get pulled into society. You know, you're paying bills, and now you're like this robot. You eat, sleep, you lay down, you get up, you go to a job, you pay your bills, and that's all you do. And before you know it, you know, 50, 60, you know, your hands don't work like you used to.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't.
Yeah.
And then you're mad at yourself because you didn't take that time to focus on the things that mattered to you. Once you're done with society and they have discarded you at the age of 65, you have maybe 11 years, of life to yourself, and then it's the grave.
Very
It's
true.
like how dare you?
Yeah, I think
So,
you get shaved down into the cog and just put into the machine.
That is unacceptable.
Yeah,
That's not what life is supposed to be.
you're right.
You're
You're right.
supposed to be able to get out of bed, not just get out of bed, you're supposed to jump
Wanna
out of
get
bed and then realize you have absolutely everything you need to be what you want to be.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it sounds amazing, but I know the application can be hard because a lot of us are surrounded by people who are afraid to do that.
Well, you know, what I realize is like people don't want you to have that opportunity that they didn't have as well, and that is a scary thing, because like I remember I was talking to my sister one time, and she's an artist as well. She's like you know, I was supposed to do this and that, and then you know when they start seeing you go in that direction, it's like well, I didn't get that, so how can you get that? And it's not that they mean to be mean-spirited, or it's not facetious. It's just a little bit of like I missed my chance, and you know, but
Well, that's unfortunate. She couldn't see it as something to encourage her, but then that also, you know, that's kind of the dark side of the art life.
Yeah.
That you got to keep things, you know, covered and private
your
and
best
silent
interest.
until you're ready to give birth to it and show it to the world.
everybody is on their path. I totally
Yeah.
understand. But we're gonna wrap this interview up here.
Yes.
I got one final question for you guys. In one sentence, what do you? Oh, she's like,
Oh, I see.
what would you say to those creators out there that are having a hard time, or like you want to inspire? Like what would you one sentence, something that you would say to them?
I heard it from Stevie Wonder recently. He said, "Don't allow your fears to put your dreams to death," or something like that.
Nice.
Your
It's
fears
like-
to kill your dreams.
Yeah, don't allow your fears to kill your dreams. Just yes, don't give up. Please don't let it go.
Nice.
And for
Just
me,
don't let it go.
I've been seeing somebody I follow on Instagram thing that's been resonating with me. Stay with it.
I like that
And
too.
that's a beautiful phrase for any artist.
Yeah.
Stay with it. You should
Yeah.
get t-shirts made that say "Stay with it."
Yeah, I want the
Boom.
first one.
Oh, my
Hot
You
off the
understand
press.
me? Because once you understand that you need to stay with it, you take care of what you need to take care of.
Everything
I
else
heard it
will
one time.
follow.
He's talking about me, ladies and gentlemen. So I heard it one time, and it just resonated with me, and I was just like, okay, I gotta stay with it.
That was
Yeah.
your word.
Yeah.
That was the word for your life.
Yes.
Stay with it.
Yeah.
Period.
That is yours.
Yeah.
You know,
I appreciate
because
What else you
what else
got?
you gonna- what else you have?
Yeah.
You
Just
understand?
gotta stick it
The
out.
Bible says, "What's in your hand?"
It asks.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. What's in your hand? When God was blessing Moses,
Mhm.
He said, "What's in your hand?"
You sure enough did.
Yeah.
And what's in your hand is what God will bless you with. Period.
True.
And the only way to do it is stay with it.
Nice. Thank you, guys. Thank you for this
Yeah.
moment.
Oh, thank you.
So, how can these beautiful people find you?
Oh my goodness, you can find us on Instagram at InnerWorks NYC, and the site is not up yet for the gallery. We're waiting for the big reveal, but you can follow us on Instagram, and you can see all our lovely photographies and all our latest artists and our model of the day. I'm good for that. I like to walk down the street, take pictures of people, and the next thing you know, you're on Instagram as the model of the day. So watch out for me. I'm the lady with the camera.
And Rawle Fredericks art.
Nice, beautiful. I appreciate you guys for coming here and doing this with me.
Oh, it was an honor. Thank you for having us.
This is amazing. And guys, till the next one, have a great day. Bye.
Cheers.